touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it. Favor, just touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
Well, good evening, Sigma Race fans. We're getting set up here, getting started. It's not running. That's interesting. Slight technical difficulties here. Hold tight. That ain't normal. Usually our ticker's not out of sorts like that, so it would help if I actually opened both of them up. That would have solved that problem. So here we go. Try number 2 here. We'll get it settled and started up here just right. Pole position might change hands here. It was Tadenberger in there on the initial start. So we get the reset in here and
Favor, just touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
there we go. That's more like it. We got our ticker up just right now and everything all settled and started here for tonight. It is Sigma Cup racing action here, the Cornfield 350 from Iowa Speedway, and it should be a good one here tonight. Iowa's been a treat every time we come here. This race under the lights is a dandy. So we're getting through the starting lineup now. Figure out who is where here tonight. Starting on the front row, it's going to be John Hagan and Ewan Whatarmy, pair of drivers that made it through the sprint qualifier to make the main event here tonight. Next row back, sporting a brand new paint scheme, Tadenberger will be running the number 43 as sponsored by Baumgars. It's a farm store in the kind of the Mideast. And yeah, got the 3M, kind of the Greg Biffle tribute with it, as it's one of the brands that they carry there at Baumgars. He's starting right alongside Tom Cording. Behind that, you have Monty Shangle and Bradley Ream. Next row back with Preston Kundo, Lucas Holmes, Sebastian Torres and Wyatt Wilkinson, Finley Herwig, and James Fireball Robert. Right about top 20 here, you got Tasha Wright and Al Bunch, Jacob Shangle and Kara Shangle, Brian DeBlanc and Jimmy Logano, Chaz Chadwick and Cooper Dwight, Lynn Farrell and Chris Harvey with Tyler Aspinall and Luis Rodriguez, Braden Varga and Louis Tross, Chase Kovacic and Ryan Little, Trevor Vaden and Tyler Schengle, Kellen Relic and Kevin Xavier, Eli the Wolf and Carson Bowers, Chad Hertenstein and Alex Crowther, Dave Steele Jr. with Brandon Butler II, Ryan White and Ralph Oberstadt made it through the sprint qualifier, Rich Roy and Tristan Reams, with Nelson Chacon, Trevor Walker, and Tyler Landa tail into the field. He is a race winner here at Iowa in last year that he ran here. But deep in the field starts here tonight, dead last in 45th place. John Hagan just ended up winning the last truck race that he ran, so he's riding a high, looking to try and convert for potentially his first ever Cup win. He's not yet won in Sigma Cup competition, has had some good runs, is usually in a position where he could make a win happen, but just hasn't put it all together quite yet. That's kind of neat seeing the Baumgars number 43 for the first time here tonight. Taden Berggren landed himself a brand new sponsor with all the race wins that he's been accumulating this year. It's always nice to see some new sponsors in the mix. John Hagan off to the early lead here as Taden Berggren now moves his way up to second. And then Monty Schengle up to third. Preston Kundo there in fourth with a good run from Ewan Wood Army trying to crack into the top 5. Fastest lap in the race belongs to Monty Schengle there in third. Got a Dale Senior tribute car leading the way over basically 2 Biffle tributes. The 3M on the hood there for Taden Berggren and the true 3M number 16 machine there of Monty Schengle. Preston Kundo just turned the fastest lap. He's up there in the top 5, all the way up to 4th already. Taden's right there. From Nebraska, Iowa probably feels a little bit more like a home track for him here tonight. So close to home. Taden Berggren with the fastest lap last time by, right there in second place. So the winningest driver so far this season, your points leader, Taden Berggren, who's put up 4 race wins already in the very, very early run of this, well, not early anymore. We're right about halfway now, as tonight is race number 19 of 42. And Taden Berggren, he is definitely tracking to have a double-digit win category this year. Probably on track for about 10 or more if he keeps at the pace he's going. And right there, going for the lead on John Hagan. Hagan got to lead the first 7 laps here, but he's going to have to defend against Taden Berggren with a hot charge here, trying to take over the top spot. Looks like we do have some lap traffic. The 52 of Ryan Little made a early pit stop here tonight. He's already fallen 2 laps down at the moment. Good run here from Taden Berggren on the inside on the attack. That 43 moves in, gets John Hagan up a line. And Taden Berggren running alongside John Hagan. He's going to lead lap number 9 there. And here comes Monty Schengle. Sebastian Torres as well in the picture here with Preston Kundo, and Finley Herwig with a good top 10 run at the moment. with Taden Bergeron back to the lead here for the first time tonight. Not starting on pole position. He had to work his way from 4th up to the lead here. Takes it away from John Hagan early in the running here tonight. Got a pit stop happening, and I'm wondering if some flat tires or mechanical failures are hitting some of these drivers. The 26 is on pit road right now, getting some tires swapped out. Quite the interesting start for some of the drivers already trapped laps down here. I don't know if they had some problems or what, but they're already 4 cars laps down here tonight, and your leaders are just kind of setting the pace at the moment. John Hagan, he has been on the up and up lately. That 88 did pretty good at the New York Grand Prix. He is deep in the points. He's back to 20th in the points, but he's trying to work his way up into a better position than that. With his last 2 races at road courses, he had a 10th and 11th. He had a 4th at Moses Lake Motorplex and a 9th at Evergreen just a couple weeks prior to that. And some of the best finishes he's racked together is within the last 5 races here. So another good start here tonight. Qualified with the pole. We don't often see him on the pole position. The best he's qualified this year was 6th at Phoenix, where he actually converted it to a 6th place finish there. Tom Cording with the fastest lap, a 21.968. It's crazy that we're blitzing around this racetrack at 21-22 seconds a lap, basically. Pretty quick. It's a short track, that's for sure. Kind of has a similar vibe to that of Richmond with the design, kind of the style, the size of the track. Iowa's definitely a cool track to run at. And we started running it just a couple years ago. Not a lot of backlog, not a lot of track history, but definitely glad we've been able to add it to the schedule, as it's provided us with some good racing over the last couple years here. Especially like tonight, we already had John Hagan lead the first 10 laps, and he got passed over by Taden Bergeron with a faster car in the early run here. Pit strategy is a big factor in the Iowa races, so we'll probably see some folks stay out longer, some folks cut it shorter, fighting for the undercut, overcut strategies here tonight. And obviously a couple drivers already making pit stops early in this one, but your leaders, they've got a set, kind of a set number that they're trying to reach here. They're going to work towards that goal and keep rolling here tonight. As long as there's no cautions, they can try to meet those numbers as we go along here this evening. Take a glance at last year here at Iowa. Past season that we ran here at Iowa. Last year it was Jacob Schenkel with the race win here at Iowa. In that race we had 8 cautions in the 350 lap distance. 26 lead changes with 14 different leaders. And Jacob Schenkel ended up taking that win over Eli the Wolf and Ewan What Army, whereas it saw quite the spread of race leaders in the top 10. Each driver had at least 1 lap led in the top 10 that night. This year might be a little bit different, but it was definitely an exciting race with a lot of strategy playing out that evening. If we go back to the first ever running of Iowa in the Sigma Cup Series back in 2024. That was the year that Tyler Landa, brother-in-law to Jacob Schenkel, ended up taking home the victory for his first ever career win in just about 11 races time that took him to get his first win. He bested Tyler Schenkel, Cam Jordan, and Kellen Relic in the top 4 there. 350 laps the distance. We only had 3 cautions that night with 13 lead changes and 7 different leaders. So it's crazy the difference that 1 year makes between lap, leaders and all that fun stuff. And right here, it looks like John Hagan, after losing the lead on lap 10, he's trying to get back into the picture here with Taden Berggren fighting for that race lead again. So the way it's played out so far, a Schenkel-owned team has won the race both years that we've run it so far. Schenkel Toyota Racing with Tyler Landa back in 2024, and Jacob Schenkel Racing with Jacob Schenkel in the number 64 back last year. Got to double check. I don't think we ran it in 2023, but I could be mistaken. Yeah, that is correct. We did not run it in 2023. Like I said, the inaugural season was 2024. And when we added it to the calendar, it's here to stay. It's gotten some good races already out of the gates, and we're expecting even more to go forward with. Monty Schenkel making a move for second there as he gets around John Hagan. Lap traffic is kind of hindering your leaders just a little bit here. Monty has been a very definitive kind of checkers or wreckers situation this year. At the moment, sits 21st in the points with 1 win, 3 top 5s, and 6 top 10s, 5 DNFs. So in the 18 races run so far, 5 DNFs have definitely hindered him a little bit. But on the most part, kind of a mid-pack runner this year, 20s, 25th and 28th, 30th and whatnot. Has had a couple dead last finishes of 46th, 44th, 42nd, and a couple times. It's just been kind of a bad luck spell for some of the Schenkel household start this season. There's a little bit of contact ahead of them there with, I believe, the 22 of Trevor Walker. Let's go back a lap and see what happened there. Oh wait, there's debris ahead still. I don't know whose debris that is. Oh, we got some extracurriculars here with Ralph Oberstadt. 71 just washes out there into the outside wall. Ralph Oberstadt's going to get around him here for what I think might be a position. And 71 does not look happy. That car rubbing against the wall. Not tracking as it should be. And here we are back to your race leaders. Taden Berggren has the lead, but Monty Schenkel wants to take it away from him here. Wow, it's crazy. We're already 41 laps into this one here tonight. Laps definitely go by pretty quickly here at Iowa. Looks like there's a line where the cars are kind of running up the hill here. So let me look and see. Oh, right there he hit the wall. Wall ride like Ross Chastain there just a little bit. Must have been earlier in the race because I still see the damage on the side of the car as we're skimming. Whoa. That's the 94 of Eli the Wolf having a blown up. A blown engine or something. Yeah, 45th, a gearbox failure for the 94 of Eli the Wolf. Oh, it happened all the way back on lap 2. Wow, okay, there you go. And yet the race has stayed green this whole time with a little bit of, whoa. Yes, that's why we saw quite a few drivers pull down pit road, get damage assessed on that initial start of the race here tonight. But for Ralph Overstat, he's continuing on with minimal damage at this point. Monty gets shuffled back to third here with the lap traffic kind of holding them up, it looks like. John Hagan back up into second. So with 2 races, we've had one that had 3 cautions and then one race that had 8 cautions. So we're on average about 4.5 cautions to be expected, but doesn't necessarily mean that'll actually happen. I feel like more than 3 races would be a good sample size. Whoa, your race leader, Taden Berggren, pulls off. And I don't see this being a scheduled pit stop this early, lap 50. He's pulling down with 300 laps to go. The window's 114 laps here at Iowa, so it's hard to say if there's maybe something that was wrong with the car to force him to pit. But that's going to give John Hagan your race lead. A whole bunch of cars pitting this lap. Maybe they just don't have the fuel mileage. It's funny, we're in corn country here, and the ethanol fuel may be a little harder to come by. Well, early pit stops here at lap 50 suggest that we might be on par here tonight for a long night of pit stops. If it's every 50 laps, then buckle in. It's going to be about a 7-stop race at this rate. Hopefully it's not a 7-stop race. That would be absurd. But looks like things are going to get shuffled back around here. This might be kind of more aligned on the Moses Lake Motorplex side of things, where we had so many varying strategies playing out that it's just hard to gauge who's on what strategy and whether or not it's going to be a winning or losing strategy here tonight. Tasha comes off pit road now, and that should relinquish the lead back on over to Taden Berggren. Yes, there he is back to the race lead and trying to put the 3 of Ralph Oberstadt a lap down here. Ralph currently running 40th. Must have had a bad pit stop as he drops 2 laps down here tonight. I can only imagine they must have held him on pit road a little bit longer to get some of that damage fixed. You can see the car looks clean on the right-hand side where it once was crumpled in. So they got the car slightly fixed here, hoping that the adjustment will fix the car on the long run here tonight. He's back to just 1 lap down there ahead of your race leader, Taden Berggren. At this point, he's probably hoping for a caution to get a quick wave around on the lead lap here. He's going to get hustled for that position once again as Taden Berggren drives around him here. John Hagan in second. Monty Shangle in third. Sebastian Torres in fourth. With 5th place, Tasha Wright, after that strategy call, helped her gain some spots here. 6th, her teammate there, Tom Cording, half owner of the team, Cording Brothers Motorsports. Brian DeBlanc there, followed by Ewan Wood Army and Lynn Farrell, Preston Kundo in the top 10. Man, how about that for Chad Hertenstein up into the top 15 here tonight. Had a deep qualifying run, and he's working his way up through the field now as well. But it's all Taden Berggren up front right now. Kind of cruising away with it at the moment. For Taden Berggren, he's trying to put himself in the ballpark of an Al Bunch-esque season. It's taken him 18 races to get 4 wins. It's very akin to what we've seen Al Bunch do the year he won 15 races. So if he were to get, because obviously tonight is race number 19, and you got 20 and 21, that'd mark your halfway point. A win tonight would mark race win number 5. And if he somehow manages to win the next 2 races straight, that would mark 6 and 7. And so he would be on par for a 14 race season. But then again, that's just by average, odds of the average. If he has 7 wins through half, then you would think he'd have 7 wins through the second half. That doesn't always mean a thing, because he could have 17 more wins in the last 21 races. You just never know. And so for Taden Berggren, after struggling so hard to get it figured out, it feels like he's finally put all the pieces together. This team is going to be hard to beat. And when he's this unbeatable, the rest of the field better look out, because they're going to be in trouble no matter what track they go to. Taden's getting held up by the lap car there of Nelson Chacon, as John Hagan's right there on his back bumper. They follow through on the inside of the 37 there of Nelson as they get around him, and Taden Berggren still trying to defend that lead. We're under caution. First caution falls here tonight at lap 64, and it's been the Taden Berggren show so far. He's going to lead them to the caution here. It looks like lap traffic, part of the wreck here. That is the 52 of Ryan Little, who had fallen a couple laps down. Looks like he stalls it in the middle of the turn, Friendly fire between the Jacob Schenkel Racing Genesis entries there, the 76 of Ryan White and the 52 of Ryan Little. It's a Ryan on Ryan crime here as the 52's parked on the outside there. Car might be done for the day. So first caution, the two teammates actually help benefit their other teammate, John Hagan, with a good shot at stacking them back up here tonight. With this, we will go ahead and wave around some folks. Like on pit strategy, John Hagan was able to get around Taden Berggren to take back the top spot, probably on benefit of that #1 pit stall from qualifying first here tonight for John Hagan. Taden Berggren in second, of course, Monty Schenkel in third, then it's Tasha Wright, Ewan What Army, and then how about Al Bunch, top 10 run here. Ah, snap. Okay, so we forgot to set better cautions. We will go ahead and turn that on now. For the next restart, we will have traditional double file restarts, but not for this one, as this is taking it back to 03, the 2003 form of restart here. 3 wide, Kara Schenkel got the wave round. She's trying to honor it, but at the moment just starting 3 wide in the middle there between Taden Berggren and Tyler Landa. Looks like they're gonna wave the green no matter what here. Your inside line, all of your lap traffic, they're gonna roll into turn 1, trying to get their laps back. This looks like a recipe for disaster as your lap cars on that inside line. Leaders on the outside line. Oh, Taden's getting into the wall. A restart not going so well for Taden Berggren and Monty Schenkel as they are getting held up by the slower traffic here. John Hagan setting it on cruise control now as he's up front here, driving away. Running in second place, it's going to be now Al Bunch up to second, as he's got quite the trio around him there. Ewan What Army, Monty Schenkel, and Taden Berggren all in the mix there. Oh, and they're wrecking in the background. I saw contact with the 21 of Chad Hertenstein. Yes, we are under yellow for the second time here tonight. looks like Chad might have got lucky to not actually get involved in the wreck. Ah, man, the 26 of Lucas Holmes, the 78 of Bradley Ream. And that was it, really. Just a 3-car spin out. Chad Hertenstein was able to recover. As you can see here, 3 wide. Lucas Holmes just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Gets hooked there by Bradley Ream. And that was a lap down car fighting with the lead lap car of Bradley Ream. Wow, the 52 still running even after a stall out on the track. Forced him to get a reset here. He's 41st, multiple laps down, but still out there running. Well, it's our second caution of the night. Alex Crowther hopscotches his way up to 3rd there. Ewan What Army in 2nd. So some strategy calls, changing up the running order just a little bit. But it's still John Hagan at the front. Al Bunch with the top 5 runs so far. Taden Bergeron dropped back to 7th, but he's still alive and well. Lynn Farrell in 8th, Braden Varga 9th, and Bradley Ream in 10th. So what we'll do is we'll just give the lap plus once the green flag drops here for the restart, rather than try to do the wave round and have more troubles getting restarted here. So it should be a more modern double file restart, as we got that enabled for this one and all the pursuing restarts. We go. It's crazy to say that we are 19 races into the season and Al Bunch is still winless. Very much could come alive and start winning some races here the second half of the season, but to be held winless this far into a season is kind of unusual for that 81 team, who we often see up front leading laps all the time, winning races without a doubt. But not this year. It's been a struggle. The 81's getting it figured out, though, little by little. Alrighty, kind of a shakeup now with Alex Crowther here in the top 3. Monty Shangle back up to 3rd again. He's been in the mix since the start, working his way around the field up and down in the top 5. But John Hagan leading some extra laps here, trying to do something he has not yet done in Sigma Cup competition. Truck winner through and through. He's actually won a Bridge to Cup race, so he could be a very unique driver to win the trifecta. Don't have a whole lot of drivers that have been able to piece it together and get 3 wins apiece. Or, well, take that back. A win in each step of the ladder is what I meant to say. And definitely one of these drivers that could get the job done here tonight, being John Hagan. You've got the OGs back in the day, such as Monty Shangle, who's never turned a lap in Bridge to Cup, and minimal starts in a truck, not a winner in neither. And so, yeah, that, you know, winning at each step of the ladder is impressive, because it means that you've earned your way, you've earned your keep to get up to this point. Sooner before long, we're going to have drivers that have that that ARCA, Bridge to Cup, truck, and Cup race win. Hasn't happened yet, but you never know. It could be around the corner waiting for one of these drivers to actually get a win in each step of the ladder. With ARCA dropping out, it's going to get interesting, since some drivers will never get a chance to race in the ARCA series anymore. So having a win in the ARCA series is impressive. We do have one driver in the series, Bradley Ream, who's won in trucks, Bridge to Cup, and Cup. So John Hagan would not be alone. He's already had Bradley Ream with 2 wins apiece. 2 wins at truck, 2 wins at Bridge to Cup, and 2 wins at Cup prior to the start of this season. Yeah, John Hagan had 1 win in trucks, 1 win in Bridge to Cup, and now he's actually added more wins to trucks this year alone, with 2 more wins to his name. So he has a grand total of 3 truck wins, and still seeking that first ever Cup win. Monty Shangle in the 16 has 22 career wins. Sits somewhere amongst the top 5, top 10 of all-time winners in Sigma Cup history. Monty trying to close the gap in here on John Hagan for that race lead. $260 laps left to go here tonight. So far, we've only had 2 cautions through the first 90 laps of the race here tonight. Lap leader count looks a little bit something like this. John Hagan early on here with 33 laps led, and Monty was 0, but Taden Bergeron with 53 laps led and 1 lap led by Ewan Wood Army. Monty might be able to get around here to fight for the lead pretty quickly here, as John Hagan's having to defend. 16 running stout right up on his back bumper. John Hagan could extend a stat this season that we've had so many different winners, but here comes Monty. He wants to try and get race win number 2 this season. There he is side by side with John Hagan going in through turn 3, and now on the exit of turn 4, that 16. Monty Shangle looking to take the lead away from John Hagan. Hagan fighting back on the outside, but the 16 has the inside line advantage here. Monty Shangle to the race lead. This is what I like about Iowa. You get some changes for the race lead. Definitely gives us something to watch here tonight. A lot of back and forth. Some drivers might have a better car early in the run. Some cars might run better on the long run. And just like this, Monty Shangle takes the lead for the first time here tonight in the number 16 Greg Biffle tribute car. Gets around John Hagan. Take that top spot. Lap traffic is still a very, very tough pill to swallow here as they were trying to work their way around the 76 there of Ryan White, 23 of Tyler Landa. Now creeping into the picture, that is the 64 of Sebastian Torres. Up in third place right now. Fourth place, Luis Rodriguez, good run for him. Fifth place, Al Bunch with Taden Bergeron in sixth. Chaz Chadwick in seventh. Tom Cording in eighth. Ewan Wood Army ninth, and Preston Kundo 10th. Braden Varga dropping backwards here from 9th back to about 13th. 14th place, Lynn Farrell, and that your top 15's in a bit of a bind here as they're getting around Alex Crowther to knock him back. Brandon Butler, the second on the rebound as he qualified deep in the field. Pretty common for him, but he's always had a knack for being the hard charger in the race. Doesn't matter where he qualifies, he will try to find his way back to the front before the end of a race. And that's kind of his MO lately. It's a good MO to have. I mean, at least if you don't qualify well, you do have the pace, you do have the speed to run all the way up to the front and fight for the win. A lot of back and forth battles throughout the field here. Tom Cording on the move, getting around LFG Motorsports. Chaz Chadwick there, Wood Army, the teammate there to the 18, getting around him as well. .100 laps in, 250 laps to go here tonight. And we're not even at the hour mark yet, so it's flying by pretty quickly so far. Monty Shangle, your race leader, over John Hagan and Sebastian Torres. Well, so far only 2 cautions tonight. Was pretty mild in the wreck categories. Not a lot of carnage, not a lot of chaos yet. 2 retirements, the 14 of Kevin Xavier with a camshaft failure, and the 94 of Eli the Wolf with a gearbox failure. We've had 3 different leaders so far here tonight. We'll make that 4 now with Monty Shangle, your current race leader. John Hagan's led for a good stint. Taden Bergeron's led for a good stint. And, of course, Ewan Wood Army with his 1 lap lead. What Army with the fastest lap in the race, so he's proven that he's got the pace here tonight. Will he be able to convert that over to a successful run here tonight? He's a little bit further back than your leaders. He's up into 8th at the moment. And this battle is getting good here for about the mid top 10. Luis Rodriguez leads the way over Al Bunch, Taden Berggren, and Tom Cording with Ewan What Army right there as well. 5 very stout cars that you can throw a blanket over as they run right now. Well, we do have Bridge to Cup racing tomorrow night as one of the next races on the week schedule. It'll be Pikes Peak International in Colorado, the Head for the Mountains 226 with the Bridge to Cup series. It's been a thriller this season so far with all the races we have had. And since the most recent announcement of the full Synda Cup championship format, the drivers now have an idea of what they're fighting towards in the means of a championship format. And it's going to get good. You know, we got a couple races, about 10 races left in the regular season before the full Synda Cup kicks into full drive. Crazy that we're at race number 19 here in the Cup Series already. It feels like time has definitely been flying. We will have a week off from Cup racing next week as Iowa will take a 1-week break and head to Kansas in 2 weeks' time. So kind of a nice mid-season break for everyone involved. After Kansas, of course, we go to Charlotte for the Coke 600, one of the crown jewel events that we host in the Sigma Cup Series. And we'll have 4 races in the month of June. And then we'll have 2 races in the month of July. July 3rd at Kentucky, the Calvin Steele Memorial, and the 777 Annual, which always falls on July 7th every year. And of course, my life changes coming up in July there. So big break. No streaming for the rest of July, and pretty much into the first week of August it won't be any streaming. It's kind of the summer break that we've come to know and come to expect each year in July. Once we get back late August, and it really picks up, and it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. You only have 2 regular season races left before all of the double point races start kicking in. Our double point race starts at Daytona for the Sigma 600, 240 laps at Daytona for 600 miles. It was a interesting one last year. First time we'd ever done it. This year will be the last year that we ever do it, which is fine because it's just a little too long for a super speedway race, especially if you have a lot of wrecks and you only end up with like 5 cars running at the end of it. Well, last year it turned into a fuel mileage race, and Brian DeBlanc ended up winning. No. It was James Fireball Robert ended up winning, but he came down pit road on the white flag, or the checkered lap, and cut the track basically down, down on the apron. He took half a lap off from the front stretch there and had to get docked points for not finishing the lap on the race surface. Because he had run out of fuel, he decided to pull it down pit road, had enough of an advantage that by the time he coasted across the start-finish line, he still won the race. But officials deemed that a no-go. You have to be on the racetrack, not on pit road, to be fully classified as winning the race. So the win classification didn't get taken away, but rather was docked 25 points for neglecting to finish the race on the racing surface. Hopefully we don't have that happen again. That was beyond weird. Never seen that before my whole life until last year at Daytona. Darlington would be the next race for the Southern 500. Fontana, the Wild West 500, always a great race at Fontana. Riverside, the Fisherman 204, that'll be on the vintage road course there in California. Pit stops happening now for Monty Shangle from the lead here at lap 123. We're seeing kind of the standard, about 50 laps is a run here tonight. John Hagan's going to try to stretch it a little bit longer, but he ain't going to be able to stretch it too much longer here, as he's going to be pulling down pit road this time by. So the undercut side here works for Monty Shangle, as he should be able to get back out with his advantage that he had on the racetrack and then some. Fresh tires will definitely help here. Holding him a little bit longer on pit road, and now he's rolling out. $125 laps out of the 350 here tonight. John Hagan now exiting his pits, and he's going to come out right behind Monty to maintain his second position here. Yeah, as we're reaching the halfway point, the points battle definitely still very much up in the air. We've got our third caution here tonight. I'll hold off on my statement I was making there. Oh, and it looks like it might have been a big one. We got some big names involved, it looks like. Maybe the 30 of Tom Courting could have been involved in it. I'm not sure yet. Yes, he was. So that's one of the drivers that was having a good run here today. Okay, mid-wreck there. It looks like Kellen Relic gets a piece of it. Oh, wow. Tyler Aspinall, the 45, just hooks Kellen Relic. He comes sliding up the track in front of Tristan Reams. Slides back down. The 19 of Chris Harvey. 68 of Finley Herwig. Hard hits there. 26 comes in there late. 30. Oh, he just gets clipped by Tristan Reams at the last moment there as well. Nasty wreck there for Kellen. Hardest hits here when you get the 68. Bam! T-boned on the passenger side. And so that is your third caution of the evening here. Your leaders start rolling right through when that they get caught up to the tail end of it. So now retired Kellen Relic, Chris Harvey, and Finley Herwig all out of the race here tonight with damage from that wreck. John Hagan back to the race lead here, followed by Sebastian Torres, Luis Rodriguez, Monty Shangle, and Al Bunch. And you've got Jacob Shangle and Tayden Berggren in the top 10. Wonder where Tayden got that damage. Let's see if we can find must have been on the off lap here during the caution. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. After the fact, Kellen Relic kept spinning out. Oh, man. Okay, so the wreck continues on down the road here. Kellen Relic makes contact there with Kara Shangle and the 39 of Wyatt Wilkinson, the 1 of UN One Army, the 43 of Tayden Berger, and the 81 of Al Bunch. They're all just trying to get woed up here and make contact with the already stalled Kellen Relic. Lights are off on the pace car. We'll get back and rolling this next time. But there's definitely some drivers a little bit rougher for the wear. Alrighty, doubled up for the restart. Back and rolling now here at Iowa. 133 laps in tonight, 217 to go. John Hagan trying to defend the lead. Sebastian Torres on the outside trying to get it. Oh, and they're hitting the outside wall there, trying to drive it a little too hot. Sebastian Torres gets into it. Monty gets into it. And that's allowing that inside line to start picking them up one by one. Also moving up into the picture, you got Tayden Berggren back into the top 5. Al Bunch up to 3rd. Luis Rodriguez with a good run in 2nd at the moment. Al Bunch seeking race win number 1 here in 2027, or 6, my bad, 2026. Next year's 2027, not quite there yet. Luis Rodriguez also would be looking for race win number 1, and the race leader, John Hagan, winless in Cup racing here. So 1, 2, 3 trio looking for either their first career win or first win of the season. Al Bunch, obviously a multi-race winner here in the Cup Series, seeking that first race of the season win. Collects the 41 of Cooper Dwight, and that might end his day right there. That inside hit definitely did a number on the 76 machine. And for the 41 of Cooper Dwight, racing in the 30th position on the lead lap, his car might be a little bit harder to drive after that contact. So the pit windows here tonight are about 50 laps, which is weird because it should be about 100 laps here at Iowa. But it seems like they swapped out the tanks for something smaller here tonight, and it's making for some interesting race calls for sure. 25 cars on the lead lap here tonight, as we are still short of halfway here, quite a ways short of halfway actually. 76 Ryan White does retire after that incident. Here's a whole list of the drivers retired. The 9 of Braden Varga retired, the 39 of Wyatt Wilkinson, the 68 of Finley Herwig, the 19 of Chris Harvey, the 87 of Kellen Relic, the 15 of Tristan Reams, the 14 of Kevin Xavier, the 94 of Eli the Wolf, and of course the 76 of Ryan White with that caution that we just got here. Braden Varga had a car capable of fighting for the win here today, but I think when that caution with Kellen Relic came out, he ended up getting in a fender bender on the slowdown lap here. As you can see, he's got it. He's gunning it, and they're wrecking ahead. They're getting all woed up, bunched up, and he just rams into the back bumper of Tyler Schengle there. But at the moment, John Hagan with very little to worry about at the moment, leading this race, racking up those laps led. Looks like with pit stops this time, it definitely shook up the running order a little bit. Monty Schengle gets shuffled backwards, back to about 8th. Chad Herdenstein in the top 10 for the first time here tonight. Almost into the top 5, so Chad with a good run. Doubled up for the restart here on lap 140. Hopefully we can get some green flag laps rolling here tonight. It's been a bit of a caution spell. Last couple of restarts have fallen apart here. And we're back and rolling. Inside line definitely. The B is the outside line here. There's just not enough room, and you kind of get the B is the outside line here. There's just not enough room, and you kind of get into the marbles, get up into that wall. Give it a little bit of a Darlington stripe here at Iowa. Comes James Fireball Robert. He had the points lead for the longest time to start out this season. Just recently lost it last race out at the New York GP to Taden Berggren, who took home the race win there. Taden Berggren, your current points leader, by 3 points over James Fireball Robert. As they sit on the racetrack now, Fireball Robert would regain that points lead. Taden Berggren not too far back, though, in the mix. He's up into the 8th position here, trying to get back into the top 5. Jacob Schengle in 6th there. Sebastian Torres, Monty Schengle, with, of course, Al Bunch and John Hagan, your top 2. Also got Jimmy Logano up into the top 10 for the first time here tonight, right there in 8th. Luis Rodriguez dropped back to 9th, and then you have Brian DeBlanc, your top 10. Louis Trost with a very respectable 11th. Brandon Butler the second, up to 12th. Then you have Chase Kovacic in a one-off start, running 13th. Alex Crowther and Preston Kundo, your top 15. Tyler Shangle with the damage on the rear end of his car, still out there soldiering along for a top 20. Chad Hertenstein had a rough restart. He was all the way up there in the top 10, and he's fallen all the way back to 22nd. So bad restart drops him like a rock at the moment. Ralph Oberstadt in the top 25, fighting for position here. 41 in the 7, getting a little bit physical there. Good old short track racing. You're going to bump and bang your way around the racetrack. It's on each and every driver to be able to defend and acknowledge that, to try and avoid being a casualty in the short track chaos here tonight. We're slowly working our way towards halfway here tonight. If the race is able to stay green, it's going to go by pretty quickly, but with all these cautions, it keeps slowing up the race pace a little bit more each and every time. Take another opportunity to look at laps led here tonight. John Hagan at 59 laps led. Monty Shangle at 33. James Fireball Robert with 1 lap led. 53 led by Tayden Bergeron. 1 by Luis Rodriguez, 1 by Louis Trost, and 1 by Ewan Wood-Army. Also see the mixed bag. Mostly everyone with 6 pit stops, but there are a couple drivers at the back there that have been on pit road a 7th time here tonight. Lap traffic mixing it up here. Monty's able to get up to 3rd as James Fireball Robert falls backwards here. Lap car slowing him up. Jacob able to get around him now at the very back, as that's dropped him back to 8th. Tayden Bergeron makes up a spot into 6th. Fireball settles into 5th. And now Monty looking on the back bumper of Al Bunch for 2nd place. Good battle brewing here for 2nd as Monty gets there alongside Al Bunch. They go charging into turn 1. 16 has the advantage on the exit of turn 2. Monty's going to take back over 2nd position here tonight. Al Bunch stuck on the outside. He's going to continue falling backwards. Alrighty, here we go. 16 is caught up to the back bumper of John Hagan, your race leader. And it might be a kind of a battle of three different leaders here tonight. The big three being Monty Shangle, John Hagan, and the likes of Taden Berggren. Berggren back up to 5th now. He's got a little bit of work to do to catch up to your lead two. But we could be seeing all three of them meet at the end of the race here still. Lap traffic in the way is going to hold up John Hagan a little bit here. Hagan with that Tasmanian Tiger Taz paint scheme here tonight. Kind of a, whoa, the 64 dive bombs, lap traffic there. Sebastian Torres shot out of a cannon. Here he is coming for 2nd place. Monty Shangle 3 wide with lap traffic there. Taden Berggren on the attack with Al Bunch. Man, what a move that was. Let's try to see this again as they were going through all of that traffic ahead. 64 with his dive bomb move. And then Al Bunch not giving up. He's going to be under attack here by the 43 of Taden Berggren. So just quite the transition of laps. 1 lap actually was all that was. And that was working their way through lap traffic. So Taden Berggren back up into 4th. Jimmy Logano up into the top 5 as Al Bunch falls back to 6th here. And next time by will be halfway through the race here tonight. 175 with 175 laps to go. Monty's right there on the back bumper of John Hagan. Now we are officially halfway through the race. 175 of 350. Plenty of lap traffic is going to keep this race very interesting, very frantic for your race leaders here tonight. As we are at halfway, let me pause real quick to save the replay of what we've got so far here tonight. As we are on race number 19 of 42 here tonight in the Sigma Cup Series. 19 of 42. Well, we kind of matched our average caution count through half the race here tonight. The over, definitely 8 cautions, and the under was 2 cautions here at the track. Here we go. Sebastian Torres going for 2nd. And now on the attack for the race lead as he blows by Monty. And he's on the inside of John Hagan there for the race lead. But he's got his hands full with lap cars right there ahead of him. Taden Berggren sees the opportunity. He might be able to pounce as well. As Sebastian Torres takes the lead. Whoa, John Hagan goes around the outside 3 wide with your leaders. The sandwich buns on the top and bottom. Hagan decided to stick it out on the outside, but that could be a mistake waiting to happen. As Sebastian Torres leads the race right now, Hagan gets into the wall. The lapped gaggle of cars there definitely hurt his advance, and this has given Sebastian Torres top spot for now, but here comes Taden Berggren on the attack. 3 wide again. Lap traffic in the mix. Monty in the mix, falling way back with the lap cars holding him up. It's amazing that we haven't seen a caution out of all this yet. But here comes Taden Berggren back up to the top spot. Al Bunch follows through up to 2nd. Name of the game here tonight, lap traffic. I mean, it's going to be a factor just about anywhere you go on a short track. And figuring out your method, your attack is always key to winning these races. If you don't have a plan of attack, you're going to get left behind. And for Taden Berggren, he's been up and down the whole way here tonight. Fell as far back out of the top 10 and now back up to the lead where he once was much earlier. He's going to have to defend, though, on Al Bunch, who's still seeking race win number 1 this season. Jacob Schenkel, who is looking for race win number 2. And James Fireball Robert up to 4th here. But the guy he needs to beat is leading the race. Your points leader, number 43 of Taden Berggren. Back to 5th falls John Hagan after leading quite a long stint here tonight. Sebastian Torres. Brandon Butler, the second, has climbed his way up into the top 10. Preston Kundo in 8th. With Luis Rodriguez and Monty Schenkel rounding out your top 10 here today through the first half. Looks like pit stops are going to be happening again here soon, too. Oh, and lap cars hold. Oh, hey. Oh, wow. Al Bunch gets into the wall hard there, trying to avoid the lapped car, the 52 of Ryan Little. That outside contact definitely affects the looks of the 81 machine here. But it's Taden Berggren out front leading all these laps yet again here tonight. Al Bunch is going to stay out a little bit longer. Al Bunch will get credited with his first lap lead here tonight, here at lap 188. And coming down pit road this time by 81 relinquishes the lead. Tasha's going to stay out here and lead a lap. As she'll come this next time by. Dave Steele Jr. also pitting on the late run pit stop here. Kerr Schenkel and Tom Cording making their pit stops, and we're back out with your potential race leader once everything shuffles through here. Taden Berggren back to the top spot. But he's going to have to defend on the 60 there of Jacob Schenkel as he's closed the gap on the back bumper of that 43 machine. Good run here on the inside line. Jacob won here last year, so if he were to win again, it would prove that it's no fluke getting the job done here at Iowa. He is at currently 35 race wins in his Sigma Cup career. That is one under his brother, Tyler Schenkel, at 36 race wins. So the next win for the number 60 there of Jacob would match his brother, and it would put them in a tie for the winningest drivers in Sigma Cup history. He's got a run here. That car seems to be fast here on this round of pit stops at 60. wants a shot at the lead now. Kind of slides up the line there, right there behind Taden Berggren. Kind of an unexpected turn of events here. I didn't figure that the 60 would be the one to show up, fight for the race lead after green flag pit stops. We're staying green flag, so no caution through that round of green flag pit stops here tonight. Running in third place now is the 77 of Preston Kundo. Tyler Schenkel all the way up to fourth with that stink bug of a very roughed up looking number 7 there. Chase Kovacic up to 5th, Luis Rodriguez 6th, Louis Troston 7th, John Hagan in 8th, Alex Crowther 9th, with Monty Schenkel and Chaz Chadwick in 10th and 11th. So that round of pit stops definitely shook it up a little bit. A lot of drivers lost some ground that were up front fighting for the race win. But now it's up to 2 cars duking it out here on this stint. The 60's right there on the back bumper. Your winningest driver this season of Taden Berggren at 4 wins early on in the season. Jacob Schenkel, 1 win earlier at Texas this year. 2 completely different tracks as we're here at Iowa tonight. Not exactly the same skill set at display, but 60 is pretty versatile. Anywhere you put him, he's got a shot to fight for the race win. And seemingly the same can be said for Taden Berggren, as he's pretty much been lining them up and knocking them down week after week. Part of the reason why he inherited a new paint scheme starting here tonight with that Baumgars deal. You win 4 races and the sponsors start looking. They start paying attention. Keeping in line with the Burnt Money Racing look, all the green and yellow. That's all their cars have been so far, is typically green and yellow. Brandon Butler the second, of course, with the Dollar Tree car with the green and white. And the run's main scheme there for Taden Berggren has been green and yellow. Baumgars continues that trend with another green and yellow car. Cool thing about the Baumgars car, it depends on any given race, but the hood could change. It's kind of like a Menards paint scheme, where Baumgars is featuring some of their brands that they carry at the store on the nose of the car. So very much like a Menards-esque paint scheme for the 43 there. 3M is a brand that Baumgars carries. Oh, they're wrecking the leaders. Jacob Schenkel gets caught up in that spinner, and he gets collected there by the 64, one of his team cars. Wow, from second place, that's just a bad luck streak. Collected by the 64 there of Sebastian Torres, who gets into Karashangle. Man, the 43 of Taden Berggren at the wrong place too to get into it. Yeah, so this all starts with the 64 of Sebastian Torres. On lap 200, so it's going to be 150 laps to go at this point. Oh man, the hit there by the 71 might have been the last nail in the coffin for the 60 machine. Everyone else kind of gets through it, it looks like, as they all just kind of straddle the 64 that's in the middle of the track. Tough break. Man, what could have been? That's a mechanical failure now. Oil leak for the 60 of Jacob Shangle. Retires him here tonight. He had a shot. He was up there fighting for the race win and gets taken out by lap traffic. What a heartbreaker. Heartbreak galore. So looks like Preston Kundo is going to inherit the lead here after that caution, the 5th caution of the evening. We'll try to get the wave around once the restart rolls here to those that are trapped a lap down. The 95, James Fireball Robert, who was up there fighting for the win, now trapped a lap down. 71 of Rich Roy retired. Jacob Shangle retired. Man, was up there in 2nd place. You couldn't have asked for a better night when that transition of pit stops shuffled him up there fighting for the race win with Taden Berggren. Berggren has now lost the race lead under pit stops here tonight after our 5th caution. Should be a 2-stopper through the rest of the race here, about 50 laps apiece. So 2 stops will get us to the finish here. Almost the perfect window because we have 145 laps to go. Taden falls all the way back outside the top 10. Back to 12th place. Here we go. It looks like we might have a battle brewing for the race lead here. Louis Tross gets shuffled up. 77 of Preston Kundo has it, but Monty Shangle wants it. That 16 looks stout here tonight. And don't count out the 7 of Tyler Shangle, even with the damage on his car. He heard about brother Jacob up front fighting for the win. He wants to get up there and try to add a race win to his name and keep the winningest driver title a little bit longer. Smoke in the background. They're wrecking again. This should be caution number 6. Yellow flag waves. We're back under caution again here tonight as the pace car rolls out. Man, if this is Taden, no, it's not Taden, but it was in the ballpark of where Taden was running. This was in 7th place, 4 wide right ahead of them there. I don't know how that stayed clean. The 3 wide is what turned into the caution here, as you got to look up just ahead here at this 4 wide. They settle into 4 wide right at this point. Looks like the 54 gets into the wall just a little bit. Yeah, they may not have been truly all 4 wide, but it was pretty darn close. But yeah, 55 Luis Rodriguez just overdrives it a little bit. Hard hit for Brian DeBlanc. And they pretty well keep it clean after that, but we'll be under caution for the 6th time here tonight. We'll have 3 Ralph Oberstadt to get all of his body parts pulled off here. Under caution, they slow up, but we've been having troubles with them bunching up on the backstretch here. Yet again, just another one of those issues here at Iowa. Didn't seem to be completely killing their nights. They keep on rolling even with without a hood. You know, parts and pieces missing off the car. And that's why you got to be up front and stay out of trouble. 16 has definitely kept his nose clear. Back to the race lead after pit stops here. Chaz Chadwick up to second. Preston Kundo in third. Fourth place, Cooper Dwight with that highly damaged number 41 machine. John Hagan back into fifth. Tyler Aspinall up to sixth. Luis Rodriguez seventh. Tyler Schenkel eighth. Brandon Butler the second, running in ninth. Trevor Vaden 10th. Al Bunch has fallen back to 13th. Taden Bergeron back to 14th. Alrighty, so we'll get doubled back up for the restart again here tonight with 140 laps to go. Cautions breed cautions. We keep seeing them rolling out here now. Another batch of back-to-back cautions slowing down the rate. Chaz Chadwick's going to get to start on the front row for the first time here tonight. We have not seen that SpaceX Honda up front at all until now, because he's going to start right here alongside Monty on the restart. Pace car pulls off. We're back and rolling here once they get to the restart zone. Back at it. Good start here for the 16, but 18's going to keep it in the throttle here on the outside. Loses the ground. The 16 can close the door now on the race lead once again. Alrighty, John Hagan back up to second here, trying to hunt down Monty Schenkel for the race lead. These two have definitely been top of the game here today. Hagan with a good run. Monty defending that race lead though. Hagan's got to work for it. Laps led 39 by Monty Schenkel, 82 by John Hagan, and 73 by Taden Bergeron, all the way back in 14th at the moment. So John Hagan's been the biggest lap leader here so far. We had another spinner up at the front of the field here. Was it the 22 maybe? Oh, wow. Oh, Ralph Oberstadt and but that was another one of those rowdy restarts where we had some extracurriculars going on. Been hard to get rolling here. The restarts have been so hard to get right. These drivers are doing their best, but it's a small track, even for what's left of 34 cars out there to get around. Shoot, Monty loses the lead in that transition to the replay there, as Luis Rodriguez is up to 4th, Chase Kovacic in 3rd, Brandon Butler the second, and John Hagan your race leader. Looks like Hagan on the attack just sent him to the outside. Once that smoke, we saw the smoke there in the picture. Hagan drives it in, has a good run here. Everyone else on the attack on the inside moves past the 18 of Chaz Chadwick. And there you go, Hagan bump and run. Gets the 16 a little bit loose and out of sorts there. And from there, the rest kind of wrote itself. Back to 5th for Monty. Taden Bergeron on the attack up to 7th there. Luis Rodriguez having a record day here. Chase Kovacic, part-timer, making a start here tonight up to 3rd. And Brandon Butler the 2nd. How about that? From qualifying outside the top 30, here he is with another points. Good run here tonight, could catapult him almost up into the top 10. So big night, could change a lot of perspectives for that championship picture. They close in on the 20 time there. Racing 88 of John Hagan. Like I said, we have not had a team other than a Shangle-owned team win it here at Iowa. First 2 races that we hosted here, Shangle Toyota Racing, just like that 54 machine, ended up taking home victory with Tyler Landa in 2024. Last year, Jacob Shangle Racing with Jacob Shangle took home the win here at Iowa for both wins under the Shangle banner. We're currently running 1-2 with Shangle at the front of the field. He's still got Monty in the mix. Tyler could get up there and have something to say about it before this one is done. But the laps are definitely dwindling down here, as we're only 120 laps left to go here tonight. Looks like we have a lengthy green flag run. It could stretch through the rest of the race here, hopefully without too much more slowages of the pace. Hagan could become the 14th different winner in a season that's only 18 races young. The only driver to win multiple races so far has been Ewan Army and Taden Bergeron. Ewan with 2 wins and Taden with 4. Chase Kovacic, of course, not a winner in all of Sigma competitions, so he would be looking for race win number 1 here tonight. Actually, I take that back. He should be an ARCA race winner. I'm pretty sure he won an ARCA race. He did win a Bridge to Cup race this year too, so my bad. He's an ARCA and Bridge to Cup winner, 1 win apiece between those 2 series. That was I miscalculated or misremembered. And then again, if he were to get the win here tonight, just like John Hagan seeking that first Cup win, they'd have 3 wins on the ladder of Sigma Racing. John Hagan with trucks and Bridge to Cup, and of course Kovacic with ARCA and Bridge to Cup. With the closure of ARCA at the end of the year, those drivers that have race wins in ARCA are going to be are going to be impressive, you know, stat keepers, that there won't be very many people. Right? Well, with about 100 laps closing in here left to go, we're just shy of the 2-hour mark here tonight. John Hagan has been the class of the show so far. Chase Kovacic running in second there. He might have something to say before this is all done and over. Third place is Luis Rodriguez. Fourth place, Brandon Butler, the second. With now fifth place, Taden Bergeron back up into the mix. Sixth place, Tyler Shangle. Seventh place, Louis Trost. Eighth place, Ewan Wood-Army. Ninth place, Preston Kundo. And 10th place, Tyler Aspinall. 11th, Bradley Ream. And 12th, Monty Shangle, continuing to get held up by lap traffic here tonight, after what was a good run is kind of fallen apart here at the end of this one. Taden gets by his teammate here for fourth place. Hagan on the low side of the lap traffic. Kovacic going on the mid to high side there. Dives in. Good run. He's going to try to bump and run the 88 of John Hagan right up on his back bumper. Lap traffic still in the wake of your leaders here. Kovacic putting on a good run. 58 laps to go. Hagan, your leader, he has led here tonight at the front for 117 laps. Taden Berggren, though, could still get a bye and start racking up those laps led again to put himself back in the conversation for led most laps here tonight, as there is still 97 laps to go. But if Hagan leads up here for the next 50 laps, he'll have it tied down in his name. Those bonus points will go to him. Taden, on the other hand, he's about 2.5 seconds back. Lap traffic could slow up Hagan here to allow for the likes of Taden Berggren to catch up. And another thing that could help, looks like Monty was on pit road there, so the 16 having troubles on this run, decides to pit the earliest of them. He's coming back off. We'll see if that helps or hurts him. But like I was saying, for John Hagan could get led most laps here tonight. Lap traffic can really help or hurt them here. Staying green on this long green flag stretch here. Kovacic's going to dip down pit road, leaving John Hagan all out there by his lonesome. Still staying out, Brandon Butler the second now moves himself back up to second. Tyler Schengle in third, Louis Trost in fourth. And some more of your lead lappers pitting now, including your race leader, John Hagan. We'll see what the 16 here of Monty Schengle cycles out after being the first to come down pit road here during this transition of green flag pit stops. Well, there's some more carnage on the racetrack, and that'll bring out our 7th caution here tonight. Under caution yet again. Looks like folks are going to be trapped a lap down here, as that caution couldn't have come at a more awkward time. Who, though, is your spinner? Oh man, if it's Taden, no. Maybe. Let's see. No way, it's Taden. You're oh man, hard hit there with Kara Schengle. One of your top guys here tonight, Taden Berggren, gets spun out coming off pit road. Looks like Kara probably got the worst of that. Taden, I don't know. It doesn't look like he got too beat up from it. Wow, back to the lead lap. Oh, well, everyone's trapped a lap down at that point. Dang. Okay, so we're going to have to do the wave round. Looks like one car on a lap of their own nearly. 26 of Lucas Holmes during the transition of green flag pit stops, brought upon by a caution with it. So your race leader is actually going to be Chase Kovacic here. Kovacic inherits the lead through the caution under green flag pit stops. Up to second, it's Brandon Butler, the second. Louis Trost and John Hagan, your top four, with Tyler Shangle, Tyler Aspinall, Brian DeBlanc, and Jimmy Logano, your top eight. Carson Bowers and Chaz Chadwick, followed by Preston Kundo, Fireball Robert, Tom Cording, and the likes of Lucas Holmes and Bradley Ream, your top 15. That was a mishandled restart. Badly mishandled restart there. They did not get figured out, get lined up. All these cars look like they've been through the grinder here tonight. More wrecks waiting to happen. Wow, yeah, I don't know what's going on all around the track at the moment. It's getting pretty wild, pretty crazy here. 3 wide all over the place. 95 up into the wall. Still 3 wide. Al Bunch in the middle, all over the place here. We're under caution yet again here. Man, it is Hagan back to the lead. Oh man, I think this might be your wreck here. The 30 of Tom Cording, who's back in 22nd. Oh, Al Bunch gets it. Cameras do not do us any justice here, man. 64 of Sebastian Torres gets into Al Bunch. Oh, and the 30 of Tom Cording, hard hit on Al Bunch there. So if we go back a lap and see the battle here, Al Bunch got slowed way up. I don't know if his car just not happy after all the damage it's taken here tonight. Gets hooked by the 64, collects the 26 just a little bit, but his slide back up the track was the hardest hit there. It takes the 30 for a wild ride. Okay, so I think we'll get caught back up here. As wild as it's been very hard to follow along these last couple restarts here. Retirement, Lynn Farrell in the 69 out of the race now. That leaves us with 33 cars left running. We have 28 of them on the lead lap. So the lap traffic cycles to the back here. That's going to give everyone spots around them, as it should allow us to get doubled up like normal this time and not have any problems, hopefully. Yeah, they're still having a hard time getting around at the back end of the field here. Doubled up for the restart. Here we go. John Hagan and Chase Kovacic will lead the field to the restart. Tom Cording retired from the race now. That leaves us with 32 cars left running. And we're back and rolling here tonight. Hagan did not have the restart that he was hoping for, as Kovacic on the outside has an edge on him right now. Preston Kundo moving through as well. Just like that, Schengle all in the top three. Got Tyler Schengle Racing Dodge there at the 77. You have Jacob Schengle Racing Genesis with the 88. And of course Schengle Toyota Racing 54 in the mix there as well. Hagan holds the top spot now over Preston Kundo, and we're under caution yet again. Wow, we cannot get this race to the finish line. Yep, we're under caution once more. And it might be day over for Al Bunch. Oh, and that wasn't even his fault. Ooh, we had the big one here on the front stretch. Aw, man, tough break for Brandon Butler the second. So you can see just where everyone's at here. Gets into the 26, hooked. 12 gets hit hard. And then they piled up in the background there. Yeah, T-Bone, the number 3 there of Ralph Overstat. Day's going to be done for a few more drivers here tonight. We're down to just 74 laps left to go, and we need to see the home stretch here. It's getting pretty nasty. Wow, look at who's up in the top 5. Look who's leading the race. Bradley Ream leads right now over Ewan Wood Army, Chase Kovacic, Chad Hertenstein, and Monty Schengle, your top 5. Once again, Monty's back in the mix here. Trevor Vaden, teammate to him, Chaz Chadwick, Cooper Dwight behind that, and Tyler Aspinall with Lewis Trost next in line. See if we can get rolling here tonight and get through without too many more cautions. So, Ralph Oberstadt knocked out of the race with that accident. Al Bunch as well. Those two basically sandwiched together under that caution. Tom Cording out, of course, from his last wreck. So the last two cautions have been hard for Cording Brothers Motorsports. At least they still have Tasha Wright in the mix and James Fireball Roberts still out there. But and Luis Rodriguez, don't count out him. He's been in the mix here today as well. So 3 of the 5 cars still running here tonight. But it's now turning into a night of attrition as we've gotten down to about the last 30 or so cars left running. And none of them look very clean. They all look pretty tattered, worn out, beaten, and banged up. Some of the cleanest ones are on that inside line with the 78 leading the way. Bradley Ream, his car looks clean. Chase Kovacic, Monty Shangle, and Chaz Chadwick, theirs all look pretty pristine. Ewan One Army on the outside, not too bad looking for his car either. Here we go, Monty on the attack. For the first time tonight, it's not a Shangle-owned car leading the race. You have Bradley Ream, Railfan Motorsports, his own owner-driver vehicle there, leads the way. Chase Kovacic, though, in the picture. Monty as well, back up here fighting for the win. And now Bradley Ream with a good advantage at the moment over Chase Kovacic and Monty Shangle. Caution count here tonight has been a total of 9 through 281 laps. New record here at the racetrack as we previously had a high of 8 cautions. So 9 tonight tops that. The way things have been going, I would not put it against us here tonight to see number 10 at some point. We will go ahead and add to it so we have green-white checkers just in case we need it. Heard some carnage crunching in staying green though. Alrighty, Chase Kovacic closing that gap in on the 78 here of Bradley Ream. Lap traffic ahead likely will factor in these final 60 laps here tonight. Man, what a wild night it's been. You're a driver with the most laps led, not looking to be in contention for the race win now. John Hagan's led 134 laps, and he's been knocked all the way back to 6th. On 11 pit stops himself. Bradley Ream somehow has made 13 pit stops here today, but here he is losing the lead. Chase Kovacic on the inside. Here comes Monty Shangle as well in the picture. They're going to go bulldozing through the 78 of Bradley Ream. Ream goes from leading back to 3rd in the span of half a lap. Kovacic leads this race. Monty Shangle in 2nd. So for Kovacic, this team has already won here before at Iowa with Tyler Landa. Monty Shangle would be looking to try and set the 3rd different Shangle-owned team to win here at Iowa with Shangle Toyota Racing, Jacob Shangle Racing, and Monty Shangle Motorsports. He's right up there in 2nd. He's going to have to bide his time here for the last 56 laps and try to find an opportunity to make that pass count. Kovacic looking for career win number 1 here in the Cup Series. As a part-timer, this seat has been split between a couple drivers. We saw Tim Cording in it a couple weeks ago. We've seen Sebastian Galloway Jr., a very stout, up-and-rising star of the Sigma Racing Series. And now Chase Kovacic, of course, one of the 3rd drivers sharing that seat here in the 54. Might be the night that we see a surprise race winner here in the Cup Series. We've seen him before. We don't see him very often. But Kovacic could really kind of set off his career path, the trajectory of what the future looks like for this young talent. Well, look at that. John Hagan closing back in on our leaders here. Hagan ain't done. He's worked his way from 6th up to 4th. 54 laps to go. He's led the most laps. He does not want to be denied a chance at winning this race here tonight. Closing in. Still ways back, but he's definitely trying to get back up here. Lap traffic could really help that gap shrink even more. You might not even need the help of lap traffic, as he's right there in the same picture now with your lead 3. John Hagan's on a mission. Man possessed. Furious for losing the lead. Leading the most laps here tonight. Got Chaz Chadwick in 5th. Taden Bergeron in 6th. Brandon Butler, teammate to him, in 7th. Lewis Trost with a very, very good run here tonight. 8th. Lucas Holmes, 9th. And your top 10 is rounded out with the 1 of Ewan Whatarmy. $50 laps to go. It's time to nut up or shut up as the laps count down here tonight. One more final push to the checkered flag. See if it stays green or if we get some more cautions. Taden Bergeron starting to make up the difference now. That car coming through the field late in the race. He got by the likes of Chaz Chadwick for 5th place, just like John Hagan blew by him as well. So differing strategies maybe giving these drivers one last push here tonight to get through the field. But look at that. Yeah, your 3 guys that have led the most laps are all back in the big picture at the end of the race. Tayden dives inside of John Hagan. Tayden on the attack, wants to get up to 4th here. And here goes Bradley Ream. Tayden Berggren follows through. Tayden Berggren making a move for 2nd now on Bradley Ream. Gets right in there close and personal with the 78. 43 on the inside. Oh, 78 gets into the wall on the outside. Lap cars are ahead of us. Dude, Tayden Berggren out of nowhere has worked his way back up to 2nd here tonight. Lap traffic still in the mix here. Could slow down your race leader. Chase Kovacic at the moment just holding on for dear life with the car that's put him in this position at the end of the race. But he's got probably 3 of the fastest cars right there behind him. Tayden Berggren, John Hagan, and Monty Shangle. He's pitting. He is, he's wrecking. Takes out John Hagan here, and this will bring out your 10th caution here tonight. That was a weird transition from the race lead for Chase Kovacic. Gets down on the apron. Maybe just the pressure got to him there. Man, tough break for John Hagan, man. Whoa. Wow. So Kovacic from the race lead makes a mistake, gets down on the apron, slides back into the racetrack, takes out John Hagan, who's led most laps here today. Well, it's going to be Tayden Berggren back to the lead. Against all odds here tonight, for whatever reason, Tayden Berggren has found himself back in the race lead. The best he can do is 116 laps led here tonight, as John Hagan has led most at 134. John Hagan just soldiering along now with all the damage, all the destruction of that 88. And that car looks like it's been through a lot here tonight. The damage on that 43 notable. Monty Shangle in second, Lucas Holmes third, Brandon Butler the second, followed by Chaz Chadwick, Tasha Wright, Preston Kundo, Louis Trost, Cooper Dwight, and Ewan Whatarmy. Then you have James Fireball Robert. Kovacic's going to keep running. Had a shot at a win here tonight, but kind of blew that opportunity out of the water. Back to 12th. Bradley Ream in 13th. Alex Crowther, and then Brian DeBlank. Jimmy Logano, Chad Hertenstein, Tyler Shangle, Luis Rodriguez, Kara Shangle, Trevor Vaden, Tyler Aspinall, Carson Bowers, Dave Steele Jr., Sebastian Torres. Well, there we have it. The two Biffle-esque tribute cars at the front of the field. The 3M on the hood of Taden Berggren's. And, of course, the 3M throwback number 16 machine there with Monty Shangle. 38 laps to go once we get the restart here. Preston Kundo on the apron. It looks like he must have a has an engine failure. Drops to the apron there. So Taden drops the low side. Monty takes to the high side for the restart here. Could it be our last restart tonight, or what else is going to go wrong? 10 cautions, new record here at Iowa. We're back and rolling. Good outside charge here by Monty. Taden gets a little bit loose. Monty might have to look for an opening on the inside here to get back down in line, second place. Taden closes the door. Monty falls back in line. So he'll be able to keep rolling here, fight for the win. Taden Berggren leads the way. This is where if they've got all the setups here tonight, everything, all of it comes down to this. Whoa, we got to go back a lap here. I got far off live. Okay, so we'll just follow through. Don't follow the ticker for a minute. Monty Shangle making a push here on Taden Berggren for the race lead. That 16 machine harnessing his inner Greg Biffle here tonight to try and close down the show. Gets a good run on turn 3. Coming on the exit of turn 4, he's got a good run. 77 back on track after making his quick pit stop to get whatever was wrong fixed. And here goes Monty Shangle back to the race lead. Taden Berggren held that lead briefly. Lap car ahead could factor in here. But there you have Monty back to the race lead. They catch up to Preston Kundo here, the 77 car that's going another lap down. Monty's going to try to make quick work of the 77. Held up a little bit in the race line there. But here he is, getting around the lapped car. Keeps the advantage that he has over Taden Berggren and drives back off with it. Just trying to get back to live here as we fast forward. There we go, back to live. Monty leads with 31 laps to go here from Iowa. Desperately hoping for no more cautions here tonight. That 16 machine has a shot to get race win number 2 in the books here. On the attack, Chaz Chadwick getting around Taden Berggren for second place. This battle far from over. Taden Berggren dropping like a rock. Bradley Ream back in the picture as well. Here comes the 41 of Cooper Dwight with the damaged machine on the inside of the 18 of Chadwick. Bradley Ream moving into the picture as well. And we got Chad Hertenstein, that 21, clean than most of the cars in the field. He's moving up into the top 10, up into the top 5. Definitely a heartbreak for John Hagan here tonight, and heartbreak for a couple other drivers that definitely were showing promise here. Iowa's one of those tracks now that we kind of have to have circled for chaos. Short track chaos, you just don't know what's going to happen until we get here each year. Monty's off to the races now. And the battle, really the only thing left brewing is here for about 4th on back. Chad Hertenstein up into the top 5, looking to try and get another top 5 to his name here in 2026. A rookie on the field. His season's been up and down. He's been up on his roof more times than not, and he's just hoping to keep it racked up. You know, racking up the good finishes like this definitely helps the conversation for next year as a full-time contender. If you can get by Taden Bergeron here on pace, that's going to be an impressive stat to hold at the end of the night. Say you beat the guy that's leading the points right now. Monty gets around the 22 there of Trevor Walker, but it looks like it slowed him up just a tad, as that's allowed Cooper Dwight to close the window down. 25 laps to go. Alrighty, 20 laps to go. Monty leads the way over Cooper Dwight, Bradley Ream, Taden Bergeron, and Chad Hertenstein. But Hertenstein not giving up. He's trying to get around the 43 here in these closing laps. That would be a good little notch in the crown, notch in the belt, feather in the cap. This is being our 16th anniversary, Sigma's year of the Biff. And the tribute schemes, we've only taken them to Victory Lane twice this year. That 16 went to Victory Lane at Phoenix earlier in the year. And the 60 for Jacob Schenkel ended up in Texas's Victory Lane just a few weeks later. It's been about a 2-month stretch since Texas. Yeah, since March 5th, and we're already into May, so the Schenkel clan has been on a dry spell of 2 months, but Monty looks to try and capitalize here tonight through all the craziness, chaos, and shenanigans that have definitely hit the shuffle button here tonight more times than not. 16's been all over the place, up and down, all the way back to 20th, I think, at one point. And now in the mix for a race win. He's got to hold off Cooper Dwight, though. He's catching back up. That 41 keeps it close and interesting here. 13 laps to go. The gap has kind of stabilized here a little bit. That 41 closed in, but hasn't gained a lot more. Bradley Riemann third. Chad Hertenstein gets by for fourth as the 43 of Taden Bergren drops backwards. The freight train piled through him there. Tasha Wright now up to fifth. Jimmy Logano in sixth, and Taden settles into seventh. Luis Rodriguez, Trevor Vaden, and Louis Tross, your top 10. Great night of racing here with a lot of potential, a lot of promise, a lot of star power all throughout the field. We could have seen a new winner, but it's looking like we might have another repeat winner on the season. Monty looking for that second win here in 26 with the Biffle Tribute car. 9 laps to go here from Iowa. And to match his son, who won here last year, Jacob had the race win at Iowa in 2025. So it's a family affair. Looking like maybe gets the job done here tonight, and the Shangle household keeps their name on top of the win board here in Iowa. I'm walking a thin line of commentators. I've jinxed pretty much a majority of the field here tonight every time I start talking good about them. Poor John Hagan about to go a lap down here at the end of the run here tonight. 24th, Tyler Shangle in 23rd, and Monty gonna blow by both of them here. The only downside to this is the lap traffic coming at the wrong time with 8 laps to go. Cooper Dwight licking his chops, knowing exactly what's going on ahead of him here. All he's got to do is find an opening and dial it in here. Monty's got to get through the traffic and avoid losing too much ground in second place. Of course, it's a family affair here, getting around Tyler Shangle. And looks like they're going to get through pretty scotch-free there. Cooper Dwight now dealing with the 88 of John Hagan. Monty looking for career win number 23 here tonight. Phoenix was career win number 22. Still with a lot of gas left in the tank. He ain't done winning yet. And in a year, honors to Greg Biffle, paying tribute to a Northwest legend. 16 gets to ride again up front, leading laps, fighting for wins. And we get to do burnouts for Biff at the end of the night. That 16, all he's got to do now is hold on for 3 more laps. No cautions. Crossed fingers, everyone on the pit box. Do not want to see the yellow blinking light of death, as that would require overtime racing here tonight. With 3 laps left in regulation, we would go to overtime. We would go to as many attempts at green-white checker to get this thing in the books, but I don't think it's going to be much of a factor. We only have to deal with a couple more revolutions here. Monty has a clear track ahead, a clear track behind him. At least clear enough for the next 2 laps. Won't be much of a factor here. Lap 349 of 350. Next time by, it'll be the white flag. White flag ends this race. It doesn't matter if a caution comes out. The race is official. There we go. White flag waving. 1 more lap to go from Iowa for the Cornfield 350. Monty Shangle catches the 26 here of Lucas Holmes. No harm, no foul. Grabbing another win for Monty Shangle Motorsports and the number 16 Greg Biffle Tribute car. Monty gets the job done here tonight in Iowa. It was a up and down night, but still a great run nonetheless. Led 77 laps here tonight. John Hagan led the most, but came up short because of an accident late in the race that toasted his car. Hayden Bergeron at 80 laps led, so definitely a lot of different ways this race could have played out. But Monty gets the job done, your 2012 Sigma Cup champion, two-time winner here in 2026. Now, how cool is that, getting the Greg Biffle car to victory lane again? Didn't know if it would happen all that often this year, but you know, it's a game. It's a rare, random chance we might not see it get to victory lane, and we've seen it now get to victory lane twice this year. So that's a feel-good one right there. Might have to fix the camera problem on this track next time we come here. I can at least edit the cameras to be a little bit more camera friendly. A little bit more broadcast friendly, I guess. But we may do. It worked all right. Didn't give us too much fits here tonight, so.
Greg, did you have any ignition problems? Did you have that same ignition problem?
Well, missed winning it on race 16 of the season. Came out 3 races later, race 19. I guess if you take the difference of the 2 races that he has won, he won on race 3 of the season and race 19. So deduct that and you get 16. Numbers are numbers. I mean, it's just a coincidence, but yeah. Take the sum or the equation of 19 minus 3 and you still get 16. So great night here from Iowa, capped off with the Monty Shangle win in the Greg Biffle tribute car. Well, folks, that was a wild one here tonight. Definitely had everything. We had comers and goers. We had pit strategy. You had wrecks and plenty of different leaders here tonight that kept it interesting. We'll be rolling into tomorrow night with the Bridge to Cup series. And internet connection lost there as I was talking. But as I was saying, hopefully all enjoyed the broadcast here tonight. Have a great week, great weekends. Stay safe out there. And until next time. Until next time, this is Jakester signing out.